I've started recording. So good evening, everybody. My name is Abdullateef Adedeji. Yes, that's my name. The Fleet Classroom Expert, and I'm so excited to welcome you all to the launch party of the Successful Educators Toolkit. So, what is this all about? Some of us, you're part of the Teaching with Freedom webinar that I had where I officially introduced this particular course and I explain what it's going to be all about. And some of us, we are not part of it. So I'm just going to give us an overview of what it's all about. But before then, I would like everybody here to introduce themselves. So I would like you, I want to get, this is a party actually, so it's not supposed to be that serious. So I want to know, where are you joining us from? Just tell us your name and where you're joining from. I think that's enough for tonight. Your name and where you're joining us from. All right. So it's going to start first. So I'm just going to be calling the names. So whenever you hear your name, just unmute and introduce yourself. So let's start with the first person that joined here, Mrs. Ajao. Yes, I hope I got that correctly. So let's start with Mrs. Ajao. Okay, if Mrs. Ajao hear me, please? If you can, please unmute yourself. Yeah, good. Okay, you can go ahead, ma. I see you have unmuted yourself. I can hear you, Miss Ajao. Are you saying something? Are you saying something? Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know why I'm not hearing Mr. Jaro. Whoa. Who else is there? Okay, let's start with Miss Abiodun. If I got that correctly. I'm so sorry. I might mistake your name. Like trying to get between the first name and the last name, but please don't be angry, don't be annoyed. So I just want us to introduce ourselves before we even get started so that everybody will get to know ourselves. See, let me tell you this before we even continue with the introduction. This thing, the idea of me having this particular course. Yeah, let me say this before we even have the introduction. Okay, okay. So instead of doing it then, let's do it in the charts. Yes, just put in the charts. Yeah, let's do. So let's do it this way. Let's make the chart to be our distance. So everybody introduce yourself and where you're joining from in the chat, please. I've seen Mr. Jao. Good evening. Mr. Jao is joining us from Shagamu, Ogun State. That's so good. So everybody drop it here. I'm just going to keep feeding you all. Yeah, using the mic here. Enjoy my voice. Enjoy it. My voice is sweet. Wow. Is it not sweet? I know it's sweet, actually. I love my voice. Why, Mrs. Sulaimon Mariam from Kano State. Amazing. Nice to welcome you. Nice to have you here. So this is what I want to say. So have, one of the ideas I had when I am planning this is that I want to create a community of teachers. A community of teachers. But this time around, I don't want to create a community of teachers where anybody just join. Okay, where anybody just join. I've realized that most of the time when you put out a link out there for a training for anything, people just join even when they are not that interested, so they just join and just join and just join and just join. That's what always happens. But this time around, I don't want that to happen. So I want a community of people who are interested in their growth. And because of that, I actually, in fact, this particular course, as at the time that I got the idea of doing this, it was supposed to be a free something for everybody. Trust me. It was supposed to be free for everybody. But along the line, I decided, no, I'm not making this free anymore. You know why? It's because I've realized that it's becoming common for educators that, especially those of us that are even active online, that we are somehow getting entitled. And so, whenever you have something free, we don't take it, we take free things for granted, and we don't, yes, take it serious as it's supposed to be. And also, personally, I don't want to build a community of people who are not used to paying for knowledge. Okay, because trust me, anything you're going to learn in this life, you're going to learn from someone, and especially if you want to fast track the process for yourself, unless you don't want to fast track the process. So, and also, teachers, one of the reasons why we are not making as much as we're supposed to be making is because we're not taking advantage of the full of of uh of our capacity as a teacher. So we only teach in the classroom. It's easy for us to go to a school and demand. That's a school pay you a salary for you to teach in their school. But for most teachers, it's not easy for us to go to meet your a fellow teacher and say, I want to collect money from you to teach you what I know that you want to learn from me. It's not easy for us to do that. And the reason why it's not easy for us is because we ourselves we are not used to paying people for knowledge. So that is exactly one of the reasons I'm doing this. And the idea of doing this that aside getting access to the course, getting access to the course alone itself is something I can chat. We're going to this is not a matter of when we're going to get there. It's a matter of I'm doing this, I'm making impact with this. I'm making impact. I can tell you, if you get access, the first video alone you're going to watch in this course is enough for the money you pay for this. Trust me, it's enough. So I can see Mrs. Waima Shirat joining from Lagos, Mrs. Bitoye from Ibadan, Mr. Mowomi from Abuja, amazing. Mrs. Ifenywa from Lagos, Mr. Jordan from Lagos State, Mr. Ukiwai Nelson from Ogun State, amazing, amazing. Okay, so the idea is that as but I realize that as much as I want to make impact, I want to be the community of teachers who are good driven, who are committed, who are willing to commit their time, their money, their attention, their energy into becoming a better person. And part of the other things I had in mind when curating this is that I just asked myself that question. When starting out as a teacher, what are the things I hope I know? What are the things I wish I know? That if I'm to go back to being a teacher today, start all over again, what are the things I wish I know about teaching? That, but unfortunately, I was not taught. I did not have the exposure. I have to do trial and error to start learning them. And that's exactly what gave birth to this course. Okay, so it's divided into three modes, and that's why I call it Successful Educators Toolkit. And for those of you that joined the Teaching with Videos webinar, not Teaching with Videos now, Teaching with Freedom webinar, I define successful teacher, identify with successful teacher is according to my own definition. And I use the acronym FLIP. And as I mentioned that, I want you to put in the chat box. So the first one is a teacher who has a fulfilling teaching career. You have a fulfilling teaching career. That means you love what you're doing. You are enjoying what you're doing. Number two is someone who has a limitless. And I think there have to be a big emphasis on this limitless. Because for most of us, we limit we limit our teaching a whole lot. We limit our teaching a whole lot. This is something I'm going to re-emphasize. You're going to hear over and over again when you start watching the videos. Limitless. Because a whole lot of things that are holding us back as educators is because we limit our teaching to a particular place, to the four walls of the classroom. What I'm doing right now is not teaching. Yes, all the videos I created is not teaching. That's teaching. But when you hear teaching, the only thing that comes to your mind is someone that's teaching the classroom. No, teaching goes beyond that. So you have to become. So for those of us that are still here, you have not introduced yourself, please. If you're just joining us, tell us what's your name and where are you joining us from. Okay, so limitless, and then we have impactful. Impactful means that as a teacher, your work is making a difference in the education sector. Yes, because you're a teacher, your work is making a difference. You are inspiring your students. Your students are being inspired by your life. Other teachers are being inspired by your life. Your teaching, you being a teacher itself, is making a difference in the world. That's what impactful means. And then lastly, which is very, very important, you have a profitable teaching career. I'm sick and tired of having teachers who are passionate about teaching, but they have nothing to show for it. No, it's not done that way. We are done being passionate and broke teachers. No, we have to have both. You are passionate. Yes, amazing. You're passionate. But this time around, you are also profitable. That's the idea of this. And that's why when I'm designing this course, I divide it into three things, into three modules. The first module is about you, the teacher. It's about you, the teacher. It's about you as a person itself. What are the things, whether you're a teacher or not, what are the things you're supposed to learn? Okay, and the idea behind this thing, in fact, the things you're going to learn in that particular module, they are things that are going to challenge everything you know. Because for me, when I was starting out, one of the things that helped me is that, and as I said, I'm trying to build a community with this. So I see you as my family. So there are a lot of things I'm going to share here that I might not even share outside, that you will never hear outside anywhere else. But I'm going to share it with you here because I'm committed to your growth. And you are the first person that showed the commitment for yourself. Okay, nobody here. Okay, there's nobody, and I'm very confident about this. I will make sure I implement it. Nobody's going to get this course for free. Nobody's going to get this course for free because anybody that is going to get this course, even as what is it called, as affordable as it is, yes, it is more like a commitment. It's just a sign of commitment. But yes, this is what I want to share with you. So when I was starting, one of the things that helped me was that I don't do I do what other teachers don't do. Yes, I'll say that again. I do what other teachers don't do. So starting out, before I even decided I'm going to become a teacher at all, back in 2018, then I was saying having my NC. I studied computer science mathematics in the College of Education in Kwara State. But before then, before I graduated, that was 2018, I started reading books. The first book I ever read was Goals by Brian Tracy. Okay, and I've joined some community online. For those of us that are here, oh, Mr. Abdulaziz is not here. So there is this person I follow. I follow these two major persons then, John Obidi and Edwin Edewo. John Obidi have a group there. As at that time, it was Smart Camp before it become Ed Start Africa. And then VC, that's Edwin Edewo, our own community is open, online publishers and entrepreneur network. And then in these groups, you see people post. See people share valuable content, messages. So I'm already exposed to all these things. So even when I become a teacher, it was in open. I need to tell you this because community is very, very important for you. It was in open online publishers and entrepreneurs network that I got to discover Mr. Kazim Abolore. How many of you know Mr. Kazim Abolore here? If you know Mr. Kazim Abolore, please drop it. Say yes in the comment in the chat. Say yes in the chat. If you know Mr. Kazim Abolore, say yes in the chat. I want to say it. Okay, amazing. Wow, Mr. Abdulaziz is here. Good. Welcome, sir. So I'm just sharing my story of how everything started. So it was because uh for me, I finished my NC in 2019, and I am this person that I love to teach. I fell in love with teaching actually during my teaching practice. That's October in 2018 to like March 2019, and that's when I become sold. I became sold to teaching. But even then, I don't want to be I don't necessarily want to become a teacher because teachers don't inspire me. As a person myself, I don't do things that I don't feel emotionally connected with and things that I'm not like, I need to see the end from the beginning. That's me. That's my life. I need to see where I'm going from the beginning. Like, I need to see my destination. And you see why this is very important too. So, but on this fateful day, I think it was January 1st or 2nd, 2020. Okay, I was on open the way I've always been, and I saw this person posted that he made, I think, over ₦1 million in 2019, and he invested like 120,000 naira going for a course, like VC as a course. Then I think a 1 month coaching program. Then I think it's called 1 kilometer challenge. I think 1 kilometer challenge, something like that. If I don't get it wrong, 1 kilometer challenge. Oh, yeah, it's fine. So you're welcome, Mr. Blazis. So 1 kilometer challenge, that was this thing. So he joined the challenge, and the challenge is a coaching program actually. It's 10,000 naira every month. So he paid for 12 months. 10,000 every month, that's 120,000 naira. That's a teacher in Lagos. And Lagos doesn't even concern me then. Who cares? What I saw is a teacher. In fact, I can go and look for that particular post for you right now. You don't get it. I can go and look for that post for you on open, and you will see my comment on that post was a teacher doing this, a teacher doing this. So that is where everything started for me. Everything about teaching changes in my head because now I see the possibility. I see someone living the life I want to live. Not that this person is extremely rich. No, that's not what it means. What it means that I've seen someone who whose definition of teaching, or I've seen a teacher who defies all definitions of teaching that I've ever known in my life. So why am I saying this? One of the things you have to understand as teachers, I know some of us, I've created the form. I've seen some of you have been teaching for 5 years. I've seen teachers who have been teaching over 10 years. Yeah, some of you have been teaching even for. I know what I was doing at all. Before I went to secondary school, yes, it's fine. Okay, but here's what I want you to know. See, exposure is very, very important in life. One of the things that I also emphasize over and over again in the videos is environment. See, the environment you are determines a whole lot in your life. The environment you are. And environment does not necessarily mean location. For me, I was in one of the like I don't know how to use it. The environment I grew up in was not all those enabling, empowering environment. I get back there. I went there like recently or some days, and I can tell you matter of fact, I can never like I feel somehow when I go to that environment, I can't even stay long there. Just to tell you how this environment does not work with me at all. Okay, but the idea is that even as at that time that I was living in the environment, let's say 2019, when I finished my NC and I'm back home and 2020, I was only living in the environment per location, but I was not in the environment. My environment was on Facebook. Is it all those communities I mentioned? That is where I live my life. That is where I go to because in those places, those are the people I roll with. Those are the people that speak my language. So I'm not open to any negative anything. So when every other person is talking about anything, I don't have it because I've exposed myself to a higher reality. So I'm not thinking like the way every other person is thinking. No, because I see beyond where I'm living, I see beyond where I'm located. All right. So exposure is very important. Your environment, your mental environment, the people you work with. And when I say work, internet has made things easy, not just, and that's why I intend to create a community out of this. So that it's not just about you, you're going to be in the group. Everybody's still going to talk this night. Everybody's going to talk. It's a party, remember? This is just like a preamble and introduction. But the idea is that you're going to be in an environment where people are doing something. You don't have option to do something too, unless you are not interested in doing something at all. That's it. But if you're interested in doing something, then this is the best environment to be. So I've explained, I'm just like trying to share my own story and things where all these things started from. So exposure, environment. So I where I went from was the fact that so one of the things that helped me as a teacher when I later become a teacher is because I've been exposed to a lot of things. So I've been into personal development a long time. So I've been exposed to things that you do normally, whether you're a teacher or not. So when I decided to become a teacher and I started teaching, all this now becomes easy for me. In 2019, like I think 2019 was the year I read the most books, or 2020. 2019, I read a whole lot of books. There's a particular book called Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill. This book is over 1,100 pages. As at that time, I cannot even afford hard copy at that time. The only thing I read then is soft copy. This was during my teaching practice. I remember March 2020, March, what was it called? So I think I used my system to even read then. My system then to even tell you, I don't have an Android phone then, or possibly the Android phone I have then was even doing a whole lot of nonsense. But the laptop I have then does not have battery. So whenever they on generator, that's when I always plug it. But most of the time, the only thing I do there is to read books. What am I telling you? So all this personal development activity are things I've started a long time before I decided I'm going to become a teacher. And all this is what helped me to get to where I am today. And I've not even gotten anywhere, trust me. I've not gotten anywhere. I know that we still have a long way to go. But at least to some extent, it's still something. Okay? It's still something. So, but the idea is that most of the things I shared in the module one of this particular in this course are things that naturally, whether you're a teacher or not, you should know. The first one is I talk about goal setting and vision. How do you visualize? How do you create destination in your head before you even do anything? I talk about mindset of successful teachers. Okay, what are the mindset that are holding you back as a teacher? What are the mindset that you need to adopt as a teacher? Okay, and how do you program your mind for success? And then the third one, which is very, very powerful, is that I talk about currencies of life. I know Mr. Abdulaziz is here. So Mr. Abdulaziz is a very is okay, I think he's out now. Okay, so I talk about currencies of life, and there are four major currencies of life, four primary currencies. Your money, the acronym for it is MEAT, money, energy, attention, and time. All these currencies are the things that are available for all of us, and these are the things you need to be successful in anything that you're doing. How do you spend your money? How do you spend your energy? What do you pay attention to? How do you spend your time? All these things are the things I explain under module one. Then module two is more about teaching in the 21st century. So teaching in the 21st century, how do you become a, the teacher in the 21st century? What are the things you need to know as a teacher in the 21st century? What are the things you need to know? And what are the things you need to do to have an impactful teaching career in the 21st century? That's what that is all about. Okay. And then the third module is all about profit. How do you build a profitable teaching career? So in the third module, I explain things like taking charge of a personal economy. Okay. I explain it. I mentioned a few things about it in the Teaching with Freedom webinar, but this time around, I expanded more on it. Okay. And then I talk about business of teaching. What does it even means to be in business of teaching? I explained that factors of production as it relates to you as a teacher. Then business ideas for educators. Those are the different business ideas, different opportunities that you can take advantage of as a teacher. Okay. Then we also have personal branding. You can't be in it. You can't be teaching in this century and not develop your personal brand and not build a formidable personal brand. Is not that means you're not ready. That's also part of the things I share in the new ways of teaching. Okay. And then aside personal branding, talk about public speaking. So one of the things that help people like us, one of the things that we understand very early and that help us is that you need to give yourself to public speaking. Go and check. Most of the teachers you know that are doing well today are public speakers. They don't make public speaking as a job. They don't have to call themselves a public speaker, but most of them are people who are confident with the mic, who can speak in the public, who get invited to come and speak. And for me, when I started my public speaking journey, man, first I started with my students. I love to share this. I started with my students. I'm the type of person that loves to motivate other people. I love to inspire other people. I know this is natural. This is something that comes naturally. When you listen to people, or when you are the type of person that give yourself to knowledge, you give yourself to knowledge, you read a lot of books. That means you always have something to say. To some extent, I'm that type of person, and this is not in any sense of arrogance. I'm the type of person that, regardless of where you are in life, if you have a conversation, I can be able to make at least an imprint. I can be able to tell you things that are going to move you forward in life. Because aside every other, one of the things I always look for in my own life and every other person I meet is what's the next level? What is the next thing you can do? You're doing so well, you're doing this, you're doing that. The next thing I'm asking is, okay, what's the next thing this person should be doing? For me, my mantra has always been live your best and do the rest. Live your best and do the rest. Okay, so that's it. What's it called? That's it for me. All right. So I hope I don't want this to be too much of talking. Okay, I don't want this to be too much of talking. So I just want to like give us an overview of the course. And also, and with that, by the special grace of God, we are officially launching. So this is the official launch. I mean official launch of the Successful Educator course. So for those of you that are just joining, it's been recorded actually. You can still watch, you get access to the replay. But part of the things you're also going to get access to as joining this course is to be part of the 1 million teachers program. And that's why in the form I indicated if you are interested. For those of us that decide that we are interested, you'll be onboarded. I'm already getting your details. I'm already onboarding, like adding your details to where it's supposed to be. You just need to wait to get onboarded. For those of us that are part of the 1 million teachers program already, part of what we're going to do is to keep you accountable. One of my goals for the rest of the year is to at least produce 25 black belts. What that means is that to have at least 25% finish the 1 million teachers program. And I have to be honest with you, it's a very intensive program, but you're going to learn a whole lot. You're going to learn a whole lot. It is 10 belts. Okay, I went through this course in 2022. As I went through the course in 20. So I got through the course in 2022. Yes, from I think March to September. Yes, and that was because I was not really that serious with it. I was not serious. I was serious at the point. Then I just leave it, and then because then we're given a deadline, I started like doing all the rushings. All right. So so that's just it about what the course is about. So I want to ask before we go ahead now. Do anybody have any question? Do anybody have any question? If you have any question, if you have anything to share, Yeah, this is time to share it. And then I want to ask everybody a question, and I want you to actually use your mic to talk. This is not chatting. So I want to ask you, if you are starting out as a teacher today, or when you started out as a teacher, what is that one thing that you wish you know? When you start out as a teacher, when you decided you're going to become a teacher, what is that one thing? So this is you don't, it doesn't have to be something big. Okay, we are all together here. This recording is not going out of here. It's only for those that are on the group. Okay, so uh so I want you to think back to when you started as a teacher. So what is that one thing that you wish you know as a teacher? All right, who is going? If you are ready, just raise your hand so I can unmute you. Yes, if you are so if you're ready to talk, just raise your hand. Okay, all right. Is anybody ready to talk? I can't see any hands up. Okay, let me just. All right, so if you're ready to talk, just unmute yourself and say something. Okay, okay, Mrs. Rahim. Okay, let me unmute. So Mr. Rahim, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself, ma. Okay, yes, go ahead, ma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I wish I knew what I know now when I started as a teacher. Sincerely, it would have been a story. It would have been a different story at the moment because I've taught I had taught in a school where where the principal said I was too, as in, I don't know, that I was too comfortable, all because something as in happened. So I didn't know. Fine, I'm a teacher and I know I'm good at what I'm doing, but I didn't know much then. So if I knew what I know now, then that such thing wouldn't happen. Do you understand? So that's
Wait,
just it.
can you be specific about what that thing is? And I'll just mention one thing that you know now that you wish you
Okay,
know
one
then.
one thing I know now, and that I'm trying as much as possible to make good use of, is online education. Yes, is online education. I know now that it's not necessary I sit in the classroom to be a teacher. That even as a teacher, for the fact that I'm passionate about teaching, does not mean I have to be in the classroom. I can teach anywhere, anytime, and it's going to be a good one. And I'm glad I know that now.
Am- Amazing. That's great. Okay, so who else would like to share? If you'd like to share, just unmute yourself. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rahim, for that. Uh, so who else would like to share? What is that one thing that you wish you know when you started your teaching career? When you started your teaching career, what's that one thing that you wish you know? What's that one thing? Let's not make this thing boring. Let's make it engaging. I don't want to be the only one talking here. I'm going to cry for you. Ah, I'm a last born. I know how to cry very well. So who else is sharing with us? Who else is sharing with us? Or should I start calling names and start unmuting everybody myself? Okay, amazing. Yeah, Mrs. Odunlade, go ahead, ma. Please go ahead. Please unmute yourself. Oh, why not? Why not? Come on. Okay, yes, everybody, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Okay,
Um, okay,
thank
good.
you.
You're
I
welcome.
get unmuted.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
you're
when
welcome,
I
ma.
started teaching, I started at a very tender age. And
Wow.
I told myself that I'm not just going to be an ordinary teacher. I'm going to be a teacher with a difference. And I'm going to be a teacher that will impact life. And I'm going to read education to any height that is available. And I think today, when I look back, I think what I said how many years back, I will say I've almost achieved.
Achieve it.
Because
Wow.
today, if a teacher is under me, they see themselves as being blessed. Because before they stay with me for 2 years and they look back, they will say, thank God I came to you. Thank God I met you. So I think I'm fulfilled, if I should use that line. And I want to thank you as well that added more to everything. I've been following you back to back and I don't regret it an inch.
That's been a long time, oh, since 2021. That's been a whole long time. Thank you so much for being one of the believer, being one of those few persons who believe so much in my work, who have contributed a lot to my work. Thank you so much, Mr. Nulade. I really look forward to meet you. I know we have not met before physically, and probably before the end of this year we might meet, or let's say at most, let's say next year. But I know we're going to meet very soon. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I just hope someone is getting inspired here. Okay. So Mr. Abdullateef, please go ahead, sir.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Because I've not been able to follow through. So, family, we have to just attend to it. Very important. All right.
Yes.
So, mine will not be what I wish I had known before I started teaching because I'm still I'm still very young. So, I cannot say I wish when I started 10 years ago. Though I've been teaching since my primary school, it has been my mates will prefer I teach them mathematics even than our class teacher. So they always say it at the back
Wow.
that let the teacher go out and so that you can take the place after closing time. So disambiguation of especially um abstract things has always been easy for me. So what I would say I wish I had done was following my purpose, be sure of my purpose about my purpose discovery when I was starting my first degree in 2016. So I know the passion is there and I'm good at this thing, teaching, basically numbers, thinking. So, but the no mentorship, if in fact I've never had purpose and discovery used
Before.
together, discovery. Like when I hear purpose, I hear it differently. When I hear discovery, I hear discovery in a sentence differently. I've never had it purpose discovery together and what the context means until around 2020. So I'm a very brilliant boy raised in a kind of environment where you are, but the willingness to know that exceptionality when the core members see that this kind of boy in this area, like you, that kind of thing that by the time you have your first position, you lead others out of 9 subjects, you lead others with to like 200 marks, like the second position. You lead the second position with like 200 marks. So the distance is there. The the gap that this boy doesn't just belong here. He does it. So because the few things we were taught, I know them. I know them, that even if the teacher was not sure when he was teaching us, when you come, I would have mastered it. If you forget something, I will remind you. That few things that you taught us, that they taught us, the kind of environment we have, those kind of place. So I went and I was given a Greek in University of Ilorin. So I'm not that kind of boy that is very outspoken, that people sought out for. Help us with mathematics, help us with chemistry, physics, teach us, advise us. Me that I've never had any girlfriend. I advise girls, they surround me. I know, like, they just come naturally, advising people, dealing with boyfriend, all this adolescent stuff. They said the classmates, our boys are disturbing them. What should they say as response? I will tell them. The boy started fighting.
Oh, no.
The boy
Relationship
started
coach.
fighting me. Yeah, exactly. So the boy started fighting me that I'm the one teaching all these get bad things. They are not accepting for them. If I did not do anything, I should allow them to do. Me, I don't even have sense. Something that people are trying to have. You have guests all around you, 5, 10, 15, 20. You don't even know how to do anything with them. You even be telling them against us as kineko. So I will just tell them, they are around me because I'm not like you. When I have an intention, not even showing it yet, of what you have, they will disappear. So it's just fast forward the stuff. It's been there, but I don't know. There's something like, if you want to commercialize something, want to go for business about life, it's better it is business around what you love, the passion, the upskilling of teaching, and the fact that the teachers around there, they are not inspiring. They are not the kind of thing, the life you want to live and all. So teaching is not even an option. I don't even have it in mind. So you just want to do the doctor thing. Since I was in science class, you want to do the doctor thing, the biochemistry thing, the microbiology thing, those that works in the hospital.
Pharmacy.
So that kind of mentality, you can set up your own hospital as if hospital can be set up with 200 naira. So, so you
Mm.
can set up your own hospital even before graduation. Those kind of local mentality about being in the health line like that. So Unilorin did this thing. I didn't get any headline stuff. I was given a Greek, and I became a second class citizen of. So I was not that sharp guy. So I was just low key. The fact that it's not your thing, but the willingness to always know, to read, and you thrive as as an high performer. But your high
Mm.
performing is just like a fish trying to fly. So you will fly at least maybe
Yes.
with miracles, but you cannot fly to the top like guys that are there. I have friends that with agri, they have been making a lot of money. They have big farms because that is what they actually come to do.
You want to
They
do.
came to study agri. Their dad, their mom, they were farmers. They have poultry farms before they come. They have this know-how and also they were there on purpose. So my story is that I wish I had known about purpose discovery and I went for education. That 20, Baba, if it was that since 2016, I know about purpose discovery and I go for education. I tell my friends that if I had known about purpose and all, because I love learning. I mean, if I'm not learning anywhere, I will disappear. I will disappear. You won't see me. So I just say, if I were to study education in a big school, Unilorin, a, a community of 40,000 students, I am very sure by the time I'm graduating, I will be I'll be giving scholarship to go and study in and abroad. Because the way I would have wowed my lecturers, the way I think, the way I like, if I come to the front of the class to even disambiguate what the lecturer I just finished, the lecturer will be like, wow, eh, this boy. So you would have wowed many lecturers with your ability to to
To
demystify
speak.
things.
Come on.
I would have left Nigeria. I would have left ish. Oh sure. So if it's not from lecturer, it would have been from a friend. It would have been from an online class that I had held with some that I had helped with some rich children somehow. But
It
thank
will have
God,
happened. It will still happen. So
that one is true. So thank God, 2022, I have become intentional since 2021, but I became mature intentional in 2022,
mature
and
intentional.
since
Hello,
then,
Shamu.
that kind of intentionality that you know what you are doing, you know that you need
Doing.
to be serious. That 2021 thing, but you don't. That direction is not that
Does
still
not have the
well
direction
cut.
yet. Yes,
Exactly. You just
exactly.
know that you need to be serious as a person.
Mm.
So 2022, I decided that this agri thing, I'm still there. I'm still there. I'm still taking advantage of the name of the school, the population, and all. But I am not in the agri thing anymore. All my connections are in the
Welcome to
education sector.
education sector. We
Yes,
enjoy having you around. We
everything,
enjoy you've been a blessing.
everything,
Mr. Abdulateef,
all my connections. In fact, maybe I cannot even spell agriculture anymore. So I have the certificate a 2.1 that is very close to first class. I read
wow.
you see, when it comes to excellence, whatever you do it well. You read, you go for next
Yes,
class normally.
that is happening.
I do all the agri thing, but I know this one is just there is a kind of way that God say you pass the road. Road to success is not straight. Go and pass there and meet people like Coach Abdullateef Adedeji through all this your
Ah,
waka waka. So that is how that is it.
yes, thank
Like
you. Wow, thank you so much. So, just like add to that, the idea is also, and Mr. Abdulaziz is someone that always talk about something, and I really love it. You always talk about functional education and purpose-driven education. And what that means is that even in class, when you are teaching in your school, you have to be able to tie everything you are doing to a purpose. And you have to, and this is going to help a lot of us. For me, basically, when I was starting, in school, the one thing I've always loved to do from the beginning of my life is computer. I love computers so much. So even when I want to study, I never want to go for education. Okay. My mind is to study computer science. But then things happen, and I find myself in a college of education. And even as at that time, mathematics is one of the worst subjects in secondary school, even in my jam. But then I started learning math a bit and everything just worked out. And then I got to study computer science and mathematics. And because of my background in computer science, it was very easy for me when I transferred into education to be able to combine tech and education together. Okay. So the idea is that for me, I believe nothing happens to us by chance. So any part we have gone through is because is adding something to our future that we may not even know yet. But even with that, it's always better. And as teachers now, also some of us we're only teaching because of condition. We're teaching because we don't have any other thing to do. We also need to discover our purpose in teaching. It's very important. Your purpose in teaching is very important. And that is what does that even mean? It means that you realize why you are teaching. Some of us you have decided that yes, my purpose in life is to teach. Yes. But even in teaching, you still have another purpose that you have to discover in teaching. For me right now, what I discovered when I started teaching is that I'm so passionate about teaching, and I realized I'm so passionate about empowering students that I realized that because of my passionate passion for empowering students, I am not the type of person that can be stuck in the classroom, at least for now. I don't know if you get that. That I'm not the type of person that can be stuck or that can limit myself in a classroom, at least for now. So everything all started with one realization that I realized that there's a limit to the number of students I can impact. But if I impact enough teachers, those teachers will go ahead and go and impact more teachers. That's my own for now. And I follow someone. Her name is YBB, Yetunde Bankole Brennan. She always says something about purpose. That purpose is not something static. Purpose is not something like I've discovered my purpose. This is what I'm going to do till I die. There's nothing like that. So I can be a teacher today. Yes, you see me doing teaching today. Tomorrow you can find me somewhere else. But the idea, one thing that is going to be common wherever you go. For me now, by the special grace of God, I have a big news to share in November, or at most December 1. I'm going to share something big December 1. Is also a proof of what's it called, of whatever you do in life, be excellent in it. Do all your best in it. All right. So I don't want this to be too long, but who else is willing to share? I hope this is making sense with you. Yes, who else is willing to share? And it's not just about sharing alone. If you have any question, this is a place where we are, what's it called? Remember, we are together here, we're all in this together. So if you have any question, anything that disturbing you, bothering you concerning your teaching career, using tech to teach, personal branding, profitable teaching career, anything actually, you can ask the question. Just probably indicate in the chat and unmute yourself. Yes, you can just unmute yourself. You don't even need to put it in the chat. All right. So who is going next? You can ask questions. You can add some contributions, and you can answer the question. So what are the things you wish? What's that one thing you wish you know? Why? When you started your teaching career, or in your teaching career so far, what's that one thing, or what's that one message that you have for teachers that you hope all teachers get to learn about, get to know? Okay, is Mrs. Olale? Do you want to say something, Miss Olale?
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Okay, good evening, ma'am.
Mr. Abdulaziz, what did the other guys said a lot of things. I think one thing I wish I knew earlier. I remember when I was in the university and admission was being delayed, and some people paid 1,000 or thereabouts to move from normal course, management course to education. And then we're mocking them that, hey, look at these people. Teacher, is teacher you want to be in life? Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you
Okay.
clearly.
I was like, oh, so is teacher you guys want to be in life? Hi, God forbid. Fast forward to after NYSC, and there is no job. The only thing that was available was teacher. I was like, I can never teach. I can never teach. Then I
Wow.
wish, then at the point in my life, I was like, if I had known, I would have paid that 1,000 naira. Instead of later that I later went for PGD, then TLCN and the rest. Now I spend extra money years later to get what they've gotten that time. So I wish I study education. And one thing I discovered early is value yourself. Because I see teachers. I was in a group today, and teachers were saying I earned 30,000 naira, and I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Are you in Nigeria, or where are you? Where are you that you're earning that kind of money? So I feel teachers should put value on themselves. Is when you value yourself that people will value you. So that's my take. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That's very uh, inspiring. The fact that, and this is a story that is common to many teachers actually. We all don't want to become a teacher, but then we find ourselves in teaching. And the most important thing is that even after we find ourselves in teaching, we still later develop that love and passion for it, and do it
That's
as
it.
if this is something we want to do from the onset. Okay, because that's the most important thing. And teaching is not like other job where you can just do for the money. Teaching is a
Yes.
life, is an emotional work, is an art work, it's something that you have to be connected with. Because I always tell teachers, no matter how much you are being paid in a school, you cannot be paid uh equivalent of the effort you are putting in. So if this is not something you even like to do, if not something you love to do, then you only judge the work by the payment you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just see
Yes.
yourself passing that aggression to your students unnecessarily. So
Of course.
so thank you so much for also answering the call. Thank you so much. We are glad to
You're
welcome
welcome.
everywhere. There's enough room, there's enough space for everybody. There are still some other people outside there that are still using strong head. I'm not going to, some of us, we are actually, this is what we are made to do. But we are still doing some kind of strong yet. Don't worry, what is going to bring you back will bring you back. Not actually, and I also want to say earlier that a lot of things. Okay, so ma'am, Mrs. Olaleye, are you teaching basically now, or are you okay? You study management, right?
Yes, I study sociology. So
Okay,
I did
sociology.
my PGD and I'm TSN certified now.
That's amazing. So even that
Yeah.
sociology that you study now is also going to help a whole lot in your
Of
teaching.
course it does. It does.
Yes,
It
it's
helps
going to
a
help a
lot.
whole
It
lot.
helps a lot.
It's going to help a
It
lot.
helps a lot.
All right, if you have
Yeah.
anybody that have any other thing to share with us, share your story with us. So
All right.
okay,
I
sorry, you
think
want to
you
say
said.
something?
I think you said maybe two maybe advice that we can share or something. I think you said that the other time.
Yes, if you have a message for teachers, yes,
All right,
it's available. Okay, yes, go on.
all right. Actually, as a teacher, whatever you learn, it's easier to always find a way to take advantage of it. So when I teach agric, the example to use and or it's always there because you know it.
Yes,
So
you
it's
forgot
always there.
yesterday.
Not talk of sociology is very close to education, very close. So um two messages. Two messages. The first one will say that if you don't have your school yet, you are teaching for somebody. As a teacher, be involved. Be
Mm,
involved in the school.
mm,
Like
mm, mm,
let
mm,
the
mm.
school management, the owner of the school know that you are involved. Like if they are not paying, if there is no money to pay in time, they will call you in secret and pay you, and they will say you should be doing as if it's really as if they've not paid you too. That you can see everything is not going fine because of the involvement. It is a natural thing. So get involved in the school. When you are involved, solutions will be coming to your head for the school for free. Then you'll be sharing it with the owner of the school, and in no time it will be easy for you to come up with your own school. Like the experience, the energy, it will just come, it will push you. You just wake up one day and say, okay, Baba, go and start thinking of how to get your own school because of the involvement you have involved in other people's job. And the second thing is continuous learning and development. When you learn, when you keep learning, you will know when a school is not fit for you, when you need to upgrade. Your brain will tell you, it will tell you that this school is not fit for you. You need to find a bigger school for more opportunities. It will tell you when you need to leave teaching to something like consultancy. It will tell you when you should do less of physical teaching and go into online teaching because it is development. What we do not know, we don't know. And knowledge does not fly into someone's head. You need to just keep learning. And the learning will tell you the next thing to do. It will tell you how to connect. It will tell you what to do next and how to execute and everything learning. Thank you.
Wow,
Involvement
that's
learning.
great. Whoa, whoa, that's so great. And I need to add,
Okay.
when it comes to involvement, I can't even say that enough. And this is something I do in my own personal life as a teacher, is that because uh, early in life, this was before I even said I'm going to become a teacher. 2019, I said in 2019 that I'm going to own a school. Okay, I want you to please follow this. That I'm going to own a school myself. I'm going to develop a school. I'm going to like own a school myself. Okay, I even give myself some timelines then. I think for 2029, I give like 10 years timeline. I'm not sure. But the idea was that because I've decided I'm going to be a school now myself, every school I have taught as if I'm the owner of the school. So I go above and beyond, above whatever the school can pay me, whatever the school can pay me. I do things for them that even the principal himself cannot do. Not so I give all my all, not because I have the time or because I'm trying to seek for attention, but I give everything. Even for so be that no, I just finished my degree program 2 months ago, or let's say, wow, it's almost 3 months now, and I had my January to January this year till April this year, I was on teaching practice. I even met Mr. Blazis for the first time. We had it, and that's part of it. So I was a teaching practice student, and as at then, out of the 70 practice students in the school, I am the most active. Not just that, in fact, out of the teachers, I am very, very active. Normally, as a student in my school, I'm not a sport type. Come on. I am the guy that you can call serious. Like if you're looking for the definition of serious student in school, I am that guy they will ask you to go and look for, to go and bring. If you get to my department, mathematics, National University of Education, and you are asking them for, they give you one particular person that is serious, the most serious person in this school, in this department, they will come and choose me for you. But when I get to that school, I become a football coach. I became a running coach. I teach them how to run, football, every intercurricular. I engage in everything. And guess what? Another thing I did, I organized a mathematics quiz competition for schools around there that was held in that particular school in celebration of International Day of Mathematics. On that day, because as at that time, Mr. Blazis too was serving around, even though it was not near, it was still a bit far from my teaching practice center. But we are able to like but he actually made the sacrifice and came then. Okay. He was one of our judges for the quiz competition. All right. So what is the idea? And with that, because of that, whenever anything happened in the school, the best person, even when anything happened with Chiprati students, the best person can easily call me to his office and explain things to me, things that he won't tell anybody, any other person. If anybody is not doing anything well in this thing among us, I'll be the one he's going to call and tell me, this person is not, I say, okay, no problem, I'm going to talk to the person. So there's that thing. And the idea is that if you know you are going to be great in life, which I know, yes, which I'm very sure of about my own self. So if you know you're going to be great in life, you know that it is only if you are not great that that people will not work for you. But if you are great to that extent, people will work for you. But what you have, and there's this law of sowing and reaping. If you are the type that has not done the work for other people, don't expect other people to do the work for you. That's it. So whenever I'm doing things, I do it with the mindset that everything I'm doing right now, people are going to do it for me too. I'm going to reap it. So I just want to share that. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdulaziz. So I think Mrs. Ezemoka want to say something. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, good evening, all.
Good evening, ma'am.
I joined a bit late, but I have gained a lot from all that I heard here, especially with when it comes to doing your best, working as if, should I call it ownership mentality, wherever
Yes.
we find ourselves at work. It works a lot. It really, really works a lot. It makes us to stand out. And it's a good thing I will also encourage everybody to imbibe on. Then I have a question. Please, I don't know how else I can do it. I'm a math teacher. And there's one thing I have come to realize, how best to teach math online. My vision for my students is this. When I teach them, I know that some people will get it immediately. Some people may
Okay.
not get it immediately. But I want this, let me create a video where that child can now learn it at his or her own pace. Now, if I try
Okay.
like something, okay, like yesterday, I tried to use whiteboard, for example. I noticed that whiteboard
Okay.
couldn't give me fractions.
Fractions.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
find fractions there. I don't so
Oh,
I just see a lot of limitations when I try to use some apps. It appears these apps favor more of general papers or maybe sciences or but once it comes to calculation, it's a lot of work. I am yet to find the best way to go when it comes to mathematics. A lot of
okay.
my
Let me.
students really, really need help.
All right. So with that, it's very simple actually. Okay. See, the thing about life board is that I will because I think I've been part of my training and I've seen a lot of some of the videos I've created. So here is it. So naturally, most of the whiteboard you are going to see out there, you don't make use of test feature. I mean, for you to be able to test, to type the way you type on liveboard. So that is actually a plus. The major way to actually do your thing on liveboard is to use your hand to write. So even though you might not be able to use your keyboard to type 1/2, you can use your hand to write it. And the thing is that this hand that we're talking about is like a pen. Is the more you use it, the better you become. It has its own handwriting too. So the more you use it, the better you become at it. So once you start practicing using your hand to write on your phone, so you want to write, for example, now let me share a whiteboard here. Let me share a whiteboard on Zoom right there.
All right, sir.
Okay, so these are an example of a whiteboard. Hope you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is what you're going to have on live board too, unless you change what is it called? You change the setting and all. So you can write. So this is what I just write now, 1/2. So this is big. If I'm doing something, I can write it a bit smaller, depending on what I'm doing, times 3/4. So, and remember, when you're doing this thing, you are recording as you are doing it. So once you are finished recording like this, you have finished doing all these things, you can go to the next page on the live board, or can even delete this. Can try to delete it and what is it called, and write some other things. So I believe with this, you should be able to have a better result with that. So yes, so you can try that out. Or have you tried that before? Okay. All right. So this is 14 minutes to 10 already. All right. So we're going to be wrapping up now. So just want this to be like a official introduction to the course. I don't know yet, but I'm going to find a specific day that we're going to be meeting, at least probably once a week, or maybe we make it to be twice a month. But I think once a week is going to be better.
This one that you showed us.
Ma?
I said I will practice this one that you showed me now.
Okay, good. All right, ma. So so for the course, yes. So we're going to how should I put it now? So we're going to be having this weekly session. I'm going to find the time. I'm going to inform us ahead. The most important thing is that uh some of the not all the videos have been uploaded actually, but some of them at least have been uploaded, and more will be uploaded before the end of tomorrow. That's very sure. You have all been given a form to fill. If you have not filled the form, please go and fill the form. If you have not, and those of us that have filled the form, you have been invited to join the Google Classroom. So please check your email address. Yes, check your email address, and then you will see. You just a mail rather, not email address now. Check your mail. You're going to see an email from Google that will ask you to join a particular classroom. All right. So once you join the classroom, you have access. You first and foremost, you'll be asked to introduce yourself, okay, on the stream, and then on the classwork tab. Yeah, classwork tab. That's where you're going to see everything listed: introduction module, module 1, module 2, and module 3. Okay, so you can start from module 1. You have seen module 1.1, module 1.2, module 1.3. Go watch the videos. If you have any question, you have any contribution, drop them on the WhatsApp group. Others are going to engage with you. And whenever we have a session like this, you can share with us what you have learned. And if you have any question, you can join. So the form, okay. So the form is actually for those that have registered for the Successful Educators Toolkit. It has been, if you have registered, let me check. It has been posted on the WhatsApp group that we are using. Yes, it has been posted on the WhatsApp group that we are using. It has been posted on the group that you are using. I'm going to post it again now.
How
So
much
you
is
only
registration?
Okay, so this thing, the what's it called, is 2,500 naira for the course itself. But as of today, that's actually the original this thing. But as of today, I have decided to like make the everything itself to just be 2,000 naira to just make it as affordable as possible for all teachers. So it is 2,000 naira.
Okay. Okay.
All right, ma.
Post it again.
So
Post it again so that we'll get the details.
okay, are you which group do you join from? Are you on the Teaching with Freedom group? So I want to ask, which group are you on, ma? Okay, or probably you can also send me a message on WhatsApp. Just send me a direct message on WhatsApp that you're interested in joining the course, so I can send the account what's it called, account details to you, so you can join. And that's for those that have not that are not part of this thing. Uh, but for those of you that have registered already and are on here, no need of no need of making any payments again. Everything you need is have been posted on the group. Every other thing you need also will be posted on the group. So I really want to implore everybody that this is not that cost that you're going to have and not do anything about, that you're going to just pay for and forget that you have a cost. Though I will not let you rest actually. I will come, if not every morning, at least every 2 days, I will come to that WhatsApp group. I will remind you to go through it, and trust me, it's going to change a whole lot in your teaching career. It's going to make a whole lot of difference. You check most of the things you're going to learn there. They are not things that what is it called that teachers talk about, especially in module one. Come on, especially even not just in module one. Yeah, module 1.1, I talk about visioning and goal creation. Yes, goal setting rather and vision creation. All these things are things that are going to project your teaching. Some of us we are doing a whole lot. Wow. The only thing we don't just have is that we don't have a specific direction. We don't have a destination in mind. So we just go ahead and just teach and teach and teach and teach and teach and teach. You don't know exactly where you are going. And when this thing happened, there's a video I was watching recently, and I learned it's also part of the this thing, and this is something for me actually, and for you too. Uh, it's something you also do. For me, I learn a lot from other people. Just like Mr. Abdulaziz, I join a whole lot of trainings and I watch a whole lot of videos almost every day. And so there are things that no matter how much I say it, no matter how much I repeat it, I will always attribute it to people I learn it from. So I don't know if anybody here know Mr. Stephen Fee, Mr. Stephen Free. So I was watching a video from 2021, a video that a session I had in 2021. Okay, a session I had in 2021, and a session that he had in 2021, and guess what happened? And it meant something that most of the things that hold people back is because they are blind to the future. Okay, blindness to the future. Do you know what that means at all? What that simply means is that these people don't know where they are going in life. They don't know exactly where they are headed in life. They don't have any destination in mind. They don't know what their future looks like. So what they do is they just do anything anyhow today. And because of that, they wonder why their life is not moving forward. That is the idea. They wonder why their life is not moving forward, why they are not getting better. As a teacher, in fact, that's why it is the first video that you're going to watch when you for those of us that have joined this thing already, having a clear direction, having a clear destination in mind. Okay, having a clear destination in mind. So in fact, I explained a lot of controversial things there because I believe anybody that joined this training, you're not here for uncommon results. And I have to tell you this. That's it. Every right now, I'm going to be sharing more of opportunity with you. There are some opportunities that we see that we don't just share with anybody, but those are in the group. Oh, I'm going to share with you. And this is what I want to say. Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz. Definitely of purpose. So Mr. Abdulaziz, now I'm not coming to your DM because like I need some. Yes, I'm coming. I'll come on. I will come, Sha. Probably tomorrow. Or yes, I know I need to speak with you about a particular thing. But what I want to say is that there's this person I follow, Mr. Abdulaziz, follow him very well. So his name is John Obidi. And whenever he talk, he always says something that there's a school of the poor and there's a school of the rich. And then this last Sunday, we had a session called Alchemy of Wealth, and he mentioned something. He divides people into two things. There is the masses. There are the masses. They are the elites. Okay, they are the elites, and they are the masses. So almost everything I teach in this course, there are things that are directed to elites, to people who are elites in teaching, not people who are what is it called, not the masses. And what is the difference? The difference is that the masses is the majority. They're the ones they are not they they are the one that have been conditioned in a specific way. But the elites are the superman of the industry. They are the man of the industry. They are the one at the top of the industry. They are the one that commands things. They are the one that make things happen. So the idea is that the things that see the things that you're going to tell someone who's an elite is not the same thing you're going to tell the masses. There's some people when you tell the masses is going to flare up and tell you, no, it's not good, it's not right, it's not these things. But when you tell it to people who are elites, that's their own normal reality. Okay? So when you hear something like tomorrow create today, that's part of the things you're going. In fact, that's the first thing I explained in the video. Tomorrow create today. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. Yes, for normal people, it's not supposed to make sense. But for you, it has to make sense because that is the realm we have to work in. That's the realm we have to work in. All right. So this is 9:55 already. So if you, I'm not sure we can take any question again. So if you have anything, you can send a message to the group. If you have anything, you can send a message to the group. Yes, you can send me a direct message too. If you are having any trouble joining the Google Classroom, please let me know. Yes, let me know. And if you join here and you're just learning about the successful educators toolkit for the first time and you would like to be part of us, right now you can pay just 2,000 naira, and that's going to be the fixed price at least for now. Okay, I'm going to work on. I think the flyer on the flyer was 500 naira, but I'm going to make some changes to it. But that's just it. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. This is 9:56. That's almost 1.5 hours since we have been here. Thank you so much for joining me this night. I hope this has been uh inspiring for you. I hope this has made some difference for you. And for those of us that we are still silent for now, it's okay. We are just getting together. But in subsequent meeting, I will expect everybody to talk. But then, thank you so much, everybody. Mrs. Ibitoye, thank you. Miss Juliet, thank you. Mrs. Kemi Afolabi, thank you. Mr. Nelson, thank you so much. I see you, sir. Thank you, my boss. Thank you, sir. Mr. Laleye, thank you. Mrs. Oyelade, thank you. Mrs. Odunlade, I hope you have gotten home now. Thank you. Mr. Kenka, you did not say anything. Thank you. Mr. Zemoka, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Mr. Ahmed, I did not talk about, let me show Mr. Abdulaziz. Yeah, Mr. Abdulaziz. Thank you, everybody. All right, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. That's good to know. So, everybody, thank you and thank you so much and have a wonderful night rest. I'm going to stop the recording now. I will.
So thank
What you
you.
got details to get the recording to us. So you might want to listen to this over again. I will send it. Probably I'm just going to upload it to the Google Classroom so that you can get access to it there. All right. So see you all.